Bhagavatam Bhagavad Gita class. So I want to welcome everyone who are joining from different parts of the world in different platform through different platform. We'll start with a small kirtan and then we will enter into the subject matter of today's discussion. Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihare Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jasoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana 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 Jamuna Tero Vanachari Jamuna Tero Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jano Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jano Vallabha Girivaradhari Jasoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Jasoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tera Vanachari Jamuna Tera Vanachari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Vihare. We'll start with the standard Mangalacharana prayer. Om Agyana Timirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manavishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Sayang Rupa Kada Mayam Dadati Sa Padantikam Mandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitang Savadutang Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakani Tamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandhu Jagatapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate तप्त कांचन गौरांगे राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपात्तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम् तदेव रम्यं रुचिरं नवं नवं तदेव स्वस्वन्मनसो महोत्सवं तदेव शोकर्णवशोषणं नृणं यदुत्तमश्लोकजशोऽनुगीयते अभिश्रितो कृष्णपदारविन्दयर् श्रीनत्यवद्रणि च सन्तनोति सत्यसुशुद्धिं परमात्मभक्तिं ज्ञानं च विज्ञानविरागयुक्तम् Hare Krishna, welcome everyone one more time. So tomorrow is a very special day. Tomorrow is Shivaratri, Mahashivaratri. It's observed all across the globe in a very festive manner. Many devotees fast and they ask for benediction to Lord Shiva, who is the topmost devotee of Lord Vishnu. So today we'll discuss some glories about Lord Shiva and how he is acting as a spiritual master for every one of us, how his behavior is exemplary, how he is making it a point that being the topmost devotee or being a pure devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu is the object of life. Okay, so if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Shiva's pastimes come in many places in Srimad Bhagavatam. So if we analyze first, we see Lord Shiva's pastimes in Srimad Bhagavatam in fourth canto, right? The fourth canto, when the genealogical order of Sambhuva Manu starts, there we see that Sambhuva Manu had three daughters, right? Akuti, Prasuti, and Devahuti, and two sons, Priyabrata and Uttarpada and Priyabrata. So interestingly, this whole fourth canto is actually based on the activities of these family members of Sambhuva Manu. Actually, from the end of third canto, because Kardama Muni, Devahuti, they are also part of that family lineage. From there onwards till the end of fourth canto, we see that a lot of pastimes which have sprouted from this family lineage. So there, when Maitreya was giving the Bhagavad stories or narrating the Bhagavad experiences to Vidura was asking different types of questions. So one point, he was giving the details explanation of the family members of the daughters of Sambhuva Manu, and he told that, okay, from Akuti and Ruchi, these three sons came: Durvasa, Soma, and who is the other one? Dattatreya, who are the incarnations of three personalities: Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu, respectively. And then he also said that from Devahuti and Prajapati Daksha, that 16 daughters were born, and they got married to 13 of them got married to Dharma, one of them got married to the Pitriloka planet, another one got married to Agni, and the last one was Sati, who got married to Lord Shiva. And he also narrated that from Devahuti came 9 daughters, or 8 or 9 daughters, and Lord Kapila. And he told that I already explained all the pastimes far and beyond regarding Kapil Muni and Devahuti. So he was more inclined to explain the other family members. And then he ended in that chapter, the first chapter of fourth canto, telling that that somehow or other, Daksha, King Daksha, who is the father of Sati and father-in-law of Lord Shiva, he became angry with Lord Shiva and he kind of cursed him. So Vidura was a little bit perplexed that what happened, what insinuated him to take such a adverse or strong actions against such a personality like Lord Shiva. To curse him, it's a big offense. So he was a little bit bewildered. And then he asked this question in the beginning of the second chapter where he says why he actually cursed him. And then if you can, Giridhar Prabhu can put up this verse 422, where Vidura explains the qualities of Lord Shiva, like in a very succinct manner. We can read that verse. You can read the purport also. Okay, so here he says, Kwastam charachara gurum nirvairam santa vigraham atmaramam katham drishti jagata daivatam mahat. Lord Shiva, the spiritual translation purport by His Divine Grace, S. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Shiva, the spiritual master of the entire world, is free from enmity, is a peaceful, is a peaceful personality and is always satisfied in himself. He is the greatest among the demigods. How is it possible that Daksha could be inimical towards such an auspicious personality? So Lord Shiva is described here as Charachara Guru, the spiritual master of all animate and inanimate objects. He is sometimes known as Bhutanath, which means the worshipable deity of the dow-headed. Bhuta is also sometimes taken to indicate the ghosts. Lord Shiva takes charge of reforming persons who are ghosts and demons, not to speak of others who are godly. Therefore, he is the spiritual master of everyone, both the dull and demoniac and the highly learned Vaishnavas. It is also stated, Vaishnavanam yatha Sambhu. Shambhu, Lord Shiva, is the greatest of all Vaishnavas. On one hand, he is the worshipable object of the dull demons, and on the other, he is the best of all Vaishnavas or devotees, and he has a sampradaya called the Rudra Sampradaya. Even if he is an enemy or is sometimes angry, such a personality cannot be the object of envy. So Vidura, in astonishment, asked why he was taken as such, specially by Daksha. Daksha is also not an ordinary person. He is a Prajapati in charge of fathering population, and all his daughters are highly elevated, especially Sati. The word Sati means the most chaste. Whenever there is consideration of chastity, Sati, this wife of Lord Shiva and daughter of Daksha, is considered first. Vidura was therefore astonished. Daksha is such a great man, he thought, and is the father of Sati, and Lord Shiva is the spiritual master of everyone. How then could there possibly be so much enmity between them that Sati, the most chaste goddess, could give up her body because of their quarrel? So this is the plot, the background plot. And you can see here Srila Prabhupada nicely explained why Lord Shiva is considered as the universal teacher of the world. So he is not only giving shelter to the persons who are qualified or who are under the following the Vedic principles very nicely, is also giving shelter to the people who are kind of rejected. You don't see too many pastimes of ghost spirits in our shastras. Do you see? Not much. Okay, but he gives shelter to them. There was in the third canto when we read that. Actually, yeah, it's in the third canto, in the end of third canto when Jai Vijay was born, right? Jai Vijay was born in third canto, I guess. So there you see that this the Sati, sorry, Mother Diti, she actually was conceiving at a time when the ghost spirits, goblins, who were the associates of Lord Shiva, they were present in the environment, or which are very propitiating for them. They can act very strongly in that particular time period of the day, in the evening, or the conjunction of two different part of the day, like sandhyas, we call it sandhyas anyways. So these ghosts and spirits, they are kind of rejected and they don't have bodies also sometimes, but Lord Shiva gives them a shelter. and somehow or other make a way for them so that they can be delivered. It's very high quality. Sometimes we see that Lord Shiva, or Lord Shiva associates, they try to mimic him because he lives in crematorium. He puts ashes in his body. Sometimes people say also that he smoked ganja or marijuana, and he doesn't bathe properly. He is not wearing proper clothes. He wears some kind of bark or skin of deer, those kind of things. So, and he carries snake around his neck. So this is not like a very clean personality externally. But it is said that whatever is actually rejected or what is not offerable to the Supreme Lord Shiva accepts that, because they need also a shelter. And Lord Shiva is so powerful that even though he accepts it, but he doesn't get contaminated at all. Rather, he purifies those who are rejected by everyone else. So this is the magnanimity of this personality called Lord Shiva. By chanting whose name, Shiva Shiva, somebody can experience auspiciousness everywhere. We'll see in the past tense, if we have time, that how Mother Sati was explaining these characteristics of Lord Shiva to her father, Daksha. Anyways, so when Vidura asked this question, Maitreya, he started explaining the pastimes, what happened in the background, and why Daksha was cursing Lord Shiva. So he was telling that, Daksha, he arranged a very beautiful or very pompous fire sacrifice, yajna, for the benefit of mankind, you can say, because he is a Prajapati. So the action of a Prajapati is to spread the population. And he was selected by his father, Brahma. He's one of Brahma's Manashaputra. From Brahma's mind he was born. So he was very powerful, because Prajapati means he's the king of all universe. You can say that even the demigods, they used to respect him as the progenitor. Excuse me. So Daksha arranged that fire sacrifice, and all the demigods were invited there, and everyone was waiting for Daksha to come in the assembly. And as soon as he entered the assembly, he was so effulgent. Everyone, the demigods, every demigods who were present there, other than Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, they stood up. They were very much mesmerized by the effulgence of his body and his, persona, this aura of his persona. And so many people stood up and gave their respect. But Daksha noticed that Lord Shiva did not stand. Now, for Brahma, it's understandable, because Lord Brahma is his father and also Guru. So if he doesn't stand up, it's okay. It's okay. But Lord Shiva, in relation, he is his son-in-law. So he expected that this person, as relation, in a relation, he is lower than me, or he's not in the same level as me. He should actually give respect to me. So even though so many people gave respect to him, but he did not notice that part. He just noticed who did not give respect. And this is our problem as well, because we are actually so bodily conscious that we are always considering the situation based on what is not present there for us, not what is present there for us to enjoy. And we feel like, everybody should worship us. We should be the center of object. If 10 persons are there, 9 persons are giving obeisances or giving respect, we are fine. One person is not giving obeisances, that becomes a big hole in our existence. We feel like, oh, it's not complete, everybody should. So this is the nature of the people who want to enjoy the material world, because they see everything in respect to enjoyment. Like if like for those who are very elevated soul, they see everything to be enjoyed by the Supreme Lord, everything for his environment, everything is for Krishna, nothing for me. And for the durattas, or those bhogis, or those who are considering everything in the material world in terms of their relationship, they consider everything to be enjoyed by them. They don't go beyond that conception. So Daksha Prajapati was also considering in that way that why Shiva is not giving respect to me. Now, when he saw this, he could not actually uh, like kept his anger, keep his anger down, because this is the problem, this kama esha krodha esha rajaguna samadbhava, Lord Krishna explains to Arjuna that out of mood of passion, this calm and krodh, they sprout. Now, somebody can ask why Kama and Krodh came to Daksha Prajapati. He is the son of Brahma, and he is, so powerful personality. You just explained that he had such a bright effulgence in his body and aura, persona, those things. This is explained also in the purport by Srila Prabhupada very nicely. He explained that this Prajapati Daksha is very expert in doing material activities. So when somebody is doing material activities, which very expert, he cannot go beyond the bodily level conditioning. He just consider everything with his relationship, like yasatma buddhi kunapetri dhatuke swadhi kalatra deshi bhomo ijjodhi yat tirtha vidhi shalirena karechit jnane janeshu avidyeshu saeva gokhara. Lord Krishna tells that the person who considers this body made of mucus, bile, and air, these three elements, and he considers his just atma buddhi kunapeti thake swalilo swadi kalatro adeshi bhumi jadi. He considers his kinsmen and relatives as his own. There's only object of relationship, and his place of birth as an worshipable object, and goes to different pilgrimage only to take bath and cleanse the sins. This person's understanding is just like as and cows. So this this karmakandi Daksha also had that kind of as and cow like mentality, where he could not go beyond the bodily level conception. And in the later part of the pastimes, Lord Shiva explains why he did not give respect. He gave a very, very nice explanation. He said, Satyam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam Yadiyate Atra Puman Apabrita Satye Chatasmin Bhagavan Vasudeva Hadyakshaje Manasa Vidiyate. I am always, actually you can put this word 4323, this very powerful verse. I think Vaisheshika Maharaj also quotes this verse very often, and it's a very like elaborate purport. 4323, where Srila Prabhupada explained what is the Vasudev consciousness of Shuddha Sattva, and how Lord Shiva is actually always immersed in that kind of consciousness, transcendental consciousness. Anyways, can you put up 4323? We can read the translation because this purport is really big. Okay, that's fine. So I can explain the verse. So Satyam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam. So it says that Vasudev Sattva, Suddha Sattva, is what Yadiyate Atra Puman Apabrita. If somebody is covering of this material nature that goes away, then he can experience. Yeah, I'm always engaged in offering obeisances to Lord Vasudeva in pure consciousness. Pure consciousness is the Vasudev Sattva, Suddha Sattva. Krishna consciousness is always pure consciousness in which the Supreme Personality of Godhead, known as Vasudeva, is revealed without any covering. So the covering is that covering of material nature, Maya Devi. So when that is actually taken away, you can experience the Shuddha Sattva, the Trigunatmika Jagata, that the three modes of material nature, that will be taken away, and you can see the Eka Guna. Eka Guna is like Shuddha Sattva, which is modes of transcending the modes of material nature and going to the modes of spiritual nature. So he is always in this state. His mind is always praying to Lord Vasudeva, Krishna. Sri Rama Rameti Ramo Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane. Always he's chanting the name of Lord Ram. So he's always paying obeisances, because obeisances, chanting the name, they're all same thing. This Navavita Bhakti, the 9 parts of Bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Visnu, Smaranam, Vandanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Daisyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. They are all connected. They are not, you cannot say that, oh, you are doing this, you are not doing this. It's not like that. They are all connected. So he's already chanting the Lord's name. He's already connected with the super soul, and he is considering everybody as the part of the super soul. So as he is always already paying obeisances, the super soul within him, he doesn't have to give obeisances externally to anyone else. He is not obligated to do that. We also know that, those who are very top class devotees, they are not obligated to do any material activities, true to say. It is also explained by Mother Sati in the next part, and also Narad Muni to Basudeva, that those who are, I forgot the verse, that those who are actually doing devotional activities, for them, the Devoshi Bhutatma Nirnam Pitrinam, Naya Mrinicha Na Kinkaracha Rajana Sarvatmana Ya Sharanang Sharanang Gata Mukunda Parihita Kittam. So those who have devoted themselves to the service of the Mukunda, who is the giver of deliverance, they are not subject to perform the so-called social activities or duties given by the society, like duty to the human, duty to the forefathers, duty to the demigods, duty to the sadhus. They don't have to do that ritualistic duty, because they are already serving the higher personality. So he is already doing it. So for his part, there is no external obeisance was necessary. And that's why when Daksha reacted, he just considered the bodily level condition, where Lord Shiva, he was considering everyone as a part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He was not. And then he started blaspheming. Daksha started blaspheming Lord Shiva left and right. He started saying that, I don't know what I have done. My daughter, she is so beautiful. She is like she has a deer-like eyes. And these Markat Lochana, these monkey-like eyes, Shiva got married to him, her. He was also telling that I didn't want to give my daughter in charity to him, but my Lord Brahma, actually he did not call Lord Brahma as father in this case, because he was angry mood. So it was like Lord Brahma, he arranged this marriage. He told, no, Shiva is the topmost personality. You should give your daughter as charity to Shiva. And this person is living in crematorium. He's smearing the ashes in his body. He is dealing with all these ghost hobgoblins, these evil personalities, and he is not having proper clothes. He is not taking bath, and he is coming here in my assembly and not giving me respect. So what to expect from this kind of son-in-law? It's better to not have this kind of relationship. And he even cursed him. He told that, Shiva, you have offended me, so you will not get any jagya bhag, means like you will not get the share of the fire sacrifice. So when we are doing fire sacrifice, especially the karma kandis, they do oblation for different demigods. Om Burunaya Swaha, Om Agniya Saha. So they keep, and that demigods, they get share. You see in the 6th canto Bhagavatam, there is also another nice pastimes where Ashri Kumaras, they were not getting shares, so they were disturbed. That pastimes of Vitrasura. Anyway, so this is a big thing for these Karmakandi demigods. That to get, and you see that in Krishna Lila also, when Indra did not get the sacrifice, Indra Puja, he was disturbed. He could even have offended Lord Krishna. So this happens when you are accustomed to get all the luxury, all the respect, and suddenly somebody stops. Then you can see that what is the reaction. Based on the reaction, you can understand that whether the personality is elevated or downgraded, or means like normal like us. But usually it is not visible all the time. Anyway, so Lord Shiva, he did not react. When he said, and Vishwanath Chakravarti Pad, he explained that this is not a curse. Actually, this is a blessing in disguise. Because Lord Shiva is the topmost personality. He is only second to Lord Vishnu. So these petty demigods, They are looking for, some kind of, oblation which will be given by the people in the fire sacrifice, and they will be propitiating by, after getting those oblations. That is not the case for Lord Shiva. He doesn't need any kind of oblation or, this kind of karma kanda, and he should not be part of this, this enjoyment phenomena where you give something and take something. Oh, I'm doing this yajna, give the result, sakam karma, give the result to me. So that he is not a befitting personality to get this kind of result. So it's a curse in disguise. So after cursing in that way, in the assembly, lot of brahmanas, demigods, they were present. What is his name? Daksha, he left in a very angry mood the arena. Then the Lord Shiva's carrier, Nandishwar, he was present there, and he could not tolerate the blaspheming of his guru, his master, his pati. So that Nandishwar, he was very angry. He was telling that this is an assembly of false brahmanas. They don't have any understanding who Lord Shiva is. They are accepting, or they are listening the blasphemy of such a personality. So I curse them. Actually he cursed first Daksha. He told that I curse Daksha, that soon his heads will be replaced by a head of a goat. Because he's Mandamati, so his head should be replaced by a goat. And then he cursed all the assembled brahmanas who tolerated this blasphemy, that these brahmanas will be bereft of three things, or they will be losing three things. One is they will lose their transcendental knowledge. So when you perform activities for the benefit of the humankind, or to satisfy the demigods, or to the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you get a benediction to go, in higher level of realization. That is a benediction. Sometimes for karma kanda section it goes gradually. For bhaktas it is very fast. It's like very fast process. They get realization of the transcendental knowledge very fast. But both cases there will be some kind of realization. So Nandishwar is cursing them that you will be bereft of transcendental knowledge. So when you are doing something and you don't know why you are doing it, that means it becomes a mere ritual. So the brahmanas, they started performing mere ritual instead of understanding the real cause behind what they are doing. So that's why they become we see especially in Kali Yuga, how the Brahminical community they are not actually following the proper injunctions. Then second curse he gave, that you will be bereft of your let me see actually what I forgot. Okay. Yeah. So you will be always attached to the fruitive activities. You will never be able to get rid of that mentality of fruitive activities. You will be very much attached to that. And the third curse he has given, yeah, good, you have actually brought that part. And third thing that you will not consider what is eatable and not eatable, non-eatable. You will not discriminate. So this is like a very severe thing, right? Somebody who doesn't have discretionary power, he cannot be even considered as a dija. A dija has a discretionary power. That's why they are leaders of different sects of the human society. Like some are the leaders of the spiritual masters or leaders of the society as a head. Some are leaders as administration. Some are leaders as the cow protection and mercantile community. These are all dijas. So if you don't have that discretionary power, you will be very abominable leaders or very bad quality leader. So something like that. So he cursed this to the brahmanas. And then in retaliation, the brahmanas also cursed the followers of Lord Shiva. They cursed that, okay, you are blaspheming Vedas, because brahmanas are followers of Vedas, And they are doing these activities, karmakanda activities based on the Vedas, because he was telling that you are merely doing Vedic activities, but you don't know what is the purpose behind them. Lord Shiva is such an elevated personality. You just tolerated his blasphemy because you don't have any respect for the scriptures, injunctions. So you are just doing it on a mere ritual. He already mentioned it. So those brahmanas led by Bhrigamuni, they actually retaliated and they cursed them that you, Lord Shiva's followers, will be bereft of Vedic knowledges. You will be considered as Pashandi or atheist. You will be, eating all obnoxious things like meats, alcohols, marijuana, this kind of things. Yeah, and Srila Prabhupada in the purpose, he was telling that even Lord Shankara, he comes as Shankaracharya to propagate the the explanation of Mayavada Bhasya, and it is considered as Ashat Shastra. So they are the kind of follower of Ashat Shastra. There's something which is not in line with the Vedic principles. So these kind of things they counter cursed. Now in the whole ceremony, Lord Shiva was calm and cool and peaceful, completely Atmarama, self-satisfied. He was not touched at all. Now, when we read actually the pastimes of Parikshit Maharaj, there was the pastimes when, what's his name? The Shamika Rishi's son, Shringi, he cursed Parikshit Maharaj for a very negligible offense. Very negligible. It can be easily, overlooked. It could have been easily. But that boy was so powerful, he kind of misused his Brahminical power. And Srila Prabhupada in the purport nicely explained that this is the beginning of the degradation of Brahminical culture, where you are misusing your power and using it for your own personal whim, based on your whim. So in that thing, Shomik Rishi was so repentant after the curse, and he gave a very nice characteristics of Vaishnava. Very beautiful. I liked it so much. He said, Tirashkrita Vipralabdha Shipta Shapta Shipta Hatopi Na Tasya Pati Kurbanti Tad Bhakta Prabhavahopi. If a pure devotee, if a devotee of the Lord, he is chastised, Tirashkrita, Vipralabdha, he is cheated, Shapta, he is cursed, or Shipta, he is very angered, or he is provoked. Hatapi, even he is killed. Na tasya pati kurbanti tad bhakta prabhavati. Even after that also he doesn't want to retaliate. He doesn't want to take any revenge. This is the quality of pure devotee. Because they see in everyone Krishna's presence, and they see everyone is serving Krishna. And Krishna has external energy, internal energy. What energy they are serving, that doesn't matter to them. But they are serving energy of Krishna. That is their consciousness in Shuddha Sattva level. That's what we just explained, right? Lord Shiva's consciousness is like that. Prayaso sadhava loke paradandeshu yojita na vethanti na rishwanti yata atma gunashraya. Many times, or like you will see the devotees of Krishna or Vishnu, they're harassed by all kind of people. All times, actually not many times, all times they are harassed. But they don't take it in their heart. They are not disturbed by it. They don't take, if somebody praises them or somebody, chastises them, they don't take it in heart. And they are not affected by that. Because they are, yata atmaha gunashraya, is they are taking the shelter of the pure mood of goodness. They are not under the jurisdiction of the three modes of material nature. So this is their characteristics. So Lord Shiva, as a guna avatar of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and a very top class Vaishnava himself, he was not affected by this phenomena at all. He just tolerated it, just tolerated the whole scenario, and he just left the arena. And when he left, and he came back, and after some time, actually, this phenomena, after some time, then again Daksha Prajapati, he started arranging for a big sacrifice, Bajpaya sacrifice and Brihaspati sacrifice, which should be subsequent sacrifices. Like first you do Bajpaya and then the Brihaspati. And these sacrifices, he invited all the demigods, Gandharvas, and everyone from different parts of the universe. And Mother Sati, She was actually watching everyone living through the sky, because Kailash has a presence in both the spiritual world, in between the spiritual world and material world, and also there is a Kailash in the Himalaya, which is out of our vision. We don't see it. Himalaya is actually not visible to us completely. It's, yeah, it's like a little bit mystic area. So there is another Kailash. So she was watching that these demigods, these Kinnaras, these Gandharvas, with their wives nicely decorated with different ornaments, they are passing through the sky. And he came to know that they are going for the sacrifice which was arranged by his father, Daksha. Now, Lord Shiva was not invited, obviously, because after that phenomena, Daksha was completely averse to Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva, Sati approached Lord Shiva. Mother Sati, she kind of glorified Lord Shiva first, that you are such a elevated personality, and I am so lucky to have you as my husband. And then she told that, my heart is aching to see my family members. Now, if you can recall, then after that incident, none of these personalities, Lord Shiva or Sati, they visited their father's house. So there was a big gap. And Mother Sati, even though she is a goddess, but still she has a womanly nature, and she was more like she had an inclination to see her sisters, and she knew that every one of her family members will be present in this mammoth sacrifice ceremony. So she wanted to visit it, and she was kind of convincing Lord Shiva. She was telling that, okay, we know that we did not get invitation from my father, but even if you don't get any invitation, you can visit your father, you can visit your friend, you can visit your guru's house without any invitation. You don't need exclusive invitation for that. Now Lord Shiva, he was smiling, and he told, yeah, you can go there, but you can go only when these people will feel good when in your presence. If they get angry, you should always avoid their association. So you should be very careful what before before you do something. And she was mentioning that I have so many ornaments given by my father. I want to visit my father's house wearing these ornaments. So Srila Prabhupada was explaining that Lord Shiva is like a very poor person or beggar. He is living here and there. So he could not afford much ornaments for Mother Sati. So she was referring to all the ornaments which she got from her father. Anyways, so she was not able to convince Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva said that actually I don't see any good in going there. If you go there, I don't see any good. It may be very detrimental for you. So if you want to go, I won't actually stop you. But I don't have my you don't have my permission for that. Now it's an interesting fact. Just now we read actually Mother Sati is the emblem of Sati, right? Is what is that, like chest lady? Still in Bengal or in India also some part, maybe Sati Daha. Somebody is, oh, she's a Sati, powerful lady, chest lady to husband. So how can she, in fact, what happened when Lord Shiva spoke like this, Mother Sati was angry actually. She was doing walking in different parts of the quarter, and then she was not like she could not placate herself. She could not pacify herself. She was roaming here and there. She was disturbed. Her consciousness was also not steady. So she was not behaving in normal manner. So it was not like Sati like act, right? She was a chaste lady. She was supposed to listen to her husband's order. So Acharya's explains actually there is a Puranic story behind this. Why Mata Sati actually kind of uh, uh, you know uh, disobeyed her husband's wish, order. So the story goes like that. When Lord Rama was performing her pastimes in Panchavati. So one time, Lord Shiva is actually chanting always, Lord Ram's name or Shankarshana's name. Lord Shankarshan is to them. But also he chants Lord Ram, and he was observing the glorious pastimes of Lord Ram. So he was experiencing those mood. So Mother Sita asked about Lord Ram to Lord Shiva, and he explained, sorry, Mother Sati, that this personality, Lord Ram, is my worshipable God, your descendant to enact wonderful pastimes in this lifetime. And Mother Sati wanted to, make some funny experiment with Lord Ram. So she took the form of Mother Sita and, approached Lord Ram. It's not for a bad intention. It's just to, test what he does. And as soon as Lord Ramchandra saw in that form Mother Sati, in Sita's form, he paid obeisances because he could understand this is not Sita Mata herself. And he said, Mata, what are you doing here? And then she came to her, own form, and she, worshipped Lord and asked for forgiveness. But after this incident, Lord Shiva never actually put Mother Sati on his lap. Usually, the wife should be put in the left thigh if wife is sitting in the lap, and daughter should be put in the right thigh, right lap. And also wife is called Bamangi. So during the sacrifice, the wife actually sit to the left side of the husband. So she never got a chance to sit to the left side of Lord Shiva because Lord Shiva considered that her body got contaminated. She took the form of Mother Sita, and Mother Sita is her worshipable deity. So when she actually had that kind of action, that actually polluted her position as his wife, or that kind of contaminated. And after that, their relationship was not as similar as before. So this is one of the reasons where what actually provoked Mother Sati, or it was the arrangement of the providence, so that she could obey Lord Shiva. And another thing is that, like, if she would have followed the instruction of, if Lord Shiva would have allowed her to go, okay, Sati, you go, then she could not actually, do the, actions he did, like what she had done, like she immolated herself, those things. She could not do it because her husband's blessings is already there. And when somebody like Lord Shiva, permits something, it will be always auspicious. It cannot be, negative at any point of time. So when he told that, Lord Shiva told that, I am not seeing anything good. And still, when she was leaving, Lord Shiva sent his servants along with her, like Nandishwar and Mandas, Mani Manadas. These people, I don't know even what who they are, in actuality, like a human body or ghost or goblins, but they accompanied him. Sorry, they accompanied her. And Mother Sati, she reached to the Daksha Prajapati's palace, and she was not greeted by anyone. All the Brahmanas, demigods who were present there, even Daksha Prajapati himself, they kind of avoided her. They were scared, especially the demigods and the Brahmanas, that if we speak with Sati in a normal manner, what Daksha Prajapati will think. They were concerned about that. So this is the mentality of our also. Even if we think somebody is a very powerful personality, but we don't have that much faith in the process, that's why we act based on the situation, act based on our benefit. What is actually our immediate benefit? If somebody would have supported Mother Sati, what kind of a spiritual security they could have got, they could not even fathom. But they are thinking like, I will get dakshina. The Brahmanas are thinking, I will get like huge dakshina from Daksha Prajapati, or I will get huge oblation, like huge share of the sacrifice from Daksha Prajapati. The demigods are thinking, so they could not go beyond their immediate profits. This is another very common aspect of materialistic people. They don't want to get beyond the immediate effects, and that's why they don't think like the paramartha, or which is the ultimate good. So they did not greet her in a very nice way. Only the sister and mother of Mother Sati, they actually greeted her in a normal way, and they kind of cried and hugged each other. But then Sati got furious when she experienced that these fire sacrifices arranged to belittle a personality like Lord Shiva. She was very furious, not only because of her husband, because she is such a magnanimous and top personality of the universe, but she is like treated like a very abominable creature in that sacrificial arena. And she started chastising her father. She told that you are such a mean person that Lord Shiva, he has so many qualities. He is the teacher of everyone. He thinks everyone's good. His name is Shiva, which by uttering Shiva, actually previously Daksha was telling your name is Shiva, but actually you are Ashiva. Your name is Shiva, auspiciousness, but actually you are inauspicious. Then Mother Sati was counter arguing, no, by uttering his name, everybody gets auspiciousness. Even those who don't have any shelter anywhere else, Lord Shiva gives shelter to them. Even though those people who are even looking for even mundane benefit, Lord Shiva doesn't reject them as well. All the demons, you see the demons, they worship Lord Shiva because he is Ashudosha. He can be satisfied easily, and you can get any benediction you want by satisfying him, and he doesn't bother. Even he lives in a cave, he gives, okay, you get immortality, you get a lot of palace, you get a lot of Shakti, get it. And Lord Vishnu opposite. He lives in a palace in Vaikuntha in the most opulent way, but his devotees are poor. This is contradiction, but this is how it goes. Anyway, so he doesn't reject anyone. He gives shelter to anyone. And you see, inauspicious, you could find fault in that personality. So Prabhupada explaining that this is the characteristics of Mahatta and Duratta. Lord Shiva, he just absorbed all the incense and didn't say anything. He could counteract, he could destroy the whole thing of Daksha with nothing for him, just like a blow of air. Even that is also not necessary actually. But he just accepted all the chastisement and left peacefully that place. But this Daksha, he doesn't find any fault. But this respect thing, he made it a big fuss. And then Mother Sati explained in the same manner that Lord Shiva, he sees the presence of super soul in everyone. So he's always giving respect. He doesn't have to give exclusive respect to you, or for that matter to anybody. And he gave a very nice explanation in that regard, that those who are serving the Supreme Personality in the Paramahansa level, in the very topmost level, that the verse I just quoted, in the same manner, she mentioned that they are not subject to the rules and regulations of the society. There's Dihatma Buddhi, that I, me, and mine, that doesn't touch them. They don't see anyone based on the relationship with themselves. They see the relationship with respect to the Supreme. So we have a horizontal relationship, we have a vertical relationship, right? Horizontal relationship we have with many personalities. Vertical relationship also with all those personalities, they have a vertical relationship with the Supreme Lord. So in that way, we are all connected to the Supreme Lord. So those who are in the topmost platform, Paramahansa level, they see everyone in that vertical connection, and they are already giving obeisances to that person. So they don't have need to exclusively do that thing for other personality. So she was telling that this your consciousness is actually very, very low, and you are considering everything in the level of this external bodily conception, which is not the case for Lord Shiva. And then she gave a very nice she explained a very nice verse. Maybe if you want to read, you can read actually 4:17. We can read that verse. Actually, that's a very important verse. What we should do when we hear the blasphemy of the Vaishnavas. I think it is quoted many times in many places, but we can have a first-hand experience of the verse. 4:17. Yes. Okay. Karunopidhaya nirayad yat kakalpayishe dharma vitarya srinivir ashamyane asyamane Chindyat parashya rushatim ashatim prabhuschej jihvam asun apitata visarjat sadharmaha vishrijat sadharmaha. Sati continued, if one hears an irresponsible person blaspheme the master and controller of religion, one should block his ears and go away if unable to punish him. But if one is able to kill, then one should by force cut out the blasphemer's tongue and kill the offender. And after that, one should give up his own life. So beautiful. You see that many times we see that what should be the result, or what should be our action when we hear the blasphemy of a Vaishnava. So Mata Sati gave like 3 options. What? He should leave the place covering his ear, or he should cut the tongue, or he should kill himself. Now Srila Prabhupada in the purport, with respect, quoting from different acharyas, he explained that these 3 actions are applicable for 3 different type of people. The person who is in a Brahmana stage, and he is by quality who is a Brahmana, he should not kill himself at any point, because he will be suffering the sins of Brahmahatta if he does it. So he should, close his ears and leave that place. The person who is very powerful, Kshatriya, who has the power to, punish someone, and who is bestowed by that authority, he should cut the tongue of that person. But if somebody who is not in that, high level consciousness, they should actually kill themselves. And Mother Sati, she considered herself very low. She considered that, I am very low, so I cannot do the other 2, so I will kill myself. And then what she did, she actually, sat in a saffron colored cloth in the midst of the arena, and she accumulated her life energy. There are 5 types of life air and 4 types of fire in our body. So she accumulated all the energies and, self-immolated herself. She actually concentrated that energy in between her eyebrows, and then she self-immolated her from that energy, by that energy. So when this news spread over, that time also it became a big chaos, because Lord Shiva's associates, they could not tolerate the living of Mother Sati, and then they started doing a lot of they started fighting against the demigods and the brahmanas. And then I think Brigu, he actually put an oblation, and he created the army of demigods called Rivus, and they fought against that Nandishwar and their company, and they defeated. Anyway, the later part, that this what is this, Birabhadra was created out of the jata, out of the hair of Lord Shiva, and he kind of fought against those demigods, and he he punished Daksha and other brahmanas also in different way. But in that later past times also, we see that Lord Shiva was telling that I don't have any grudge against these demigods. He did not have. He actually told that these demigods are, these are like, childish people. They are just, dealing with this petty penny shilling things, very cheap things. So I don't bother what they're doing. But it was necessary to give them some kind of, punishment to get rid of their sins, or get rid of their negative reactions. Otherwise, if you are actually going down, going, you are not suffering for your sins, then your fall down will be imminent, or fall down will be very fast. So that's what he was mentioning, that's why he punished him. So this Shiva, the personality of Shiva, is very special. In all our dham, all our spiritual places where Lord Krishna resides, Lord Shiva always protects those dhams as a personal servant of Lord Shiva, Lord Krishna. Even in the arena of rasa dance, where only the confidential personalities are allowed, there Shiva enters as Gopishwar Mahadev and works as a guard, as a doorkeeper. So this personality, Lord Shiva, is always blessed, or always specially favored by Lord Krishna. Actually, in some pastimes we see that they worship each other, because sometimes Krishna's nature is that he doesn't want to just only accept the worship of his devotees. He wants to glorify and worship those devotees also himself. That's why we see sometimes even Lord Balaram's feet are massaged by Lord Krishna. in the mood of a servant. But actually, Lord Balaram is accepting this servant because Krishna is getting pleasure out of that service. So this personality, Lord Shiva, is very special. And tomorrow is Shivaratri, Mahashivaratri is very auspicious occasion. So we can take shelter of Lord Shiva and ask his blessings, because we know that Imnuganam Yatha Ganga, then Devanam Achitam Yatha, Vaishnavanam Yatha Sambu, Purananam Idam Tatha. Like among all the descending water bodies, Mother Ganges is the top, because it is the Charanamrita, nectar coming from the washed water coming from Lord Vishnu's feet. And all the Devas, Achyuta, Lord Vishnu is the topmost. And all the, it's 11th canto verse. Yes, sorry, 12th canto, you're right, yeah. Devanam Achyutam Yatha, Vaishnavanam Yatha Sambhu. Among all the demigods, Lord Shiva is the greatest. Sorry, all the Vaishnavas, sorry. Purananam Idam Tatha. And among all the scriptures, Srimad Bhagavata Puran is the topmost. So this personality, he gives benediction. You know that, if somebody is looking for material benefits, Lord Shiva can easily, we see that Brikashura's pastimes in Bhagavatam, right? Where he satisfies his, weird desire that, he touches someone's head, then his head becomes, 100 pieces or something like that. Like it will be decapitated from the body or something like that. So weird. Okay, take it and go like that. But if somebody approaches him for real benediction, which is to get beyond these modes of material nature and engaged in the service of the Supreme Lord, he can also fulfill that easily, and he will be happy to do that. That's why this Rudra Sampradaya is there. Yeah, the Vishnu Swami, the Acharya, Vishnu Swami, and then later on we see all Vallabhacharya, those descendants of Vishnu Swami, right? They are there. When it is said that, it is said that this Keshav Kashmiri is also, I think, Rudra Sampradaya Acharya, or maybe Nimbarka. Yeah, so this knowledge is coming from him, this transcendental knowledge. The Padma Purana, which is only discussion between Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati, I think it is the second biggest. I think after Skanda Purana, Padma Purana is the second biggest Purana we have today. 55,000 verses or something like that. Anyway, so these are all the knowledge given by Lord Shiva. Even Srimad Bhagavatam, we see that Rudra Gita given to the Prachetas. That's the glorification of Lord Vishnu by Lord Shiva. It's a guru. If anybody approaches him in that mood, that please, you are the like, that's when we start the yatra in any holy place, because any holy pilgrimage place is surrounded by different Lord Shiva's, major deities. We start the first production of Lord Shiva, and then we start yatra to ask for his blessing. It's so powerful as a personality. We take shelter unto his lotus feet, and pray unto his lotus feet for ultimate benediction to get Krishna Prema in this life. Hare Krishna. So I will complete my presentation over here. If you have anything to share, you can go ahead. Okay. If not, then I'll speak something else regarding Lord Shiva's tattva, which is a little dry. So far we are speaking about only pastimes.
Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna, Achyuta Kumar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada. I like the way you narrated, Prabhu, so nice. And especially, this pastime is also, very, very close to my heart as well. I like this pastime. And hearing from you is very, very good. Especially, I like the way you said, Daksha, he did not notice when everybody is offering obeisances to him, but he's noticing who did not offer obeisances, right? And that kind of, these correlations are very, very important. It gives a lot of lessons for us. That is so nice, Prabhu. Thank you so much for such a wonderful.
Yeah.
You brought up a lot of good points. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu. So the materialistic mentality is like that. So if you have everything and you feel like something I don't have in comparison to others, you will magnify it, in a big way. So you will feel, oh, okay, if I get it, I will be happy. But as soon as you get it, after 10 days, you will start again experiencing that, oh, it's not enough. It's not enough. Because the material things can never give you happiness. Yeah. So that's why the happiness comes from within. And that is that teachings of the pure devotees, that they are Atmaramas. You should actually find happiness from within. If that is not the case, even somebody, the whole world, like I think I was mentioning this quote because it was very intriguing to me, that the world has enough resources to take the necessity of the whole population of the world or whole creation of the world, but it doesn't have enough resources to satisfy the greed of a person. So this is our nature, we don't have that consciousness where we will be satisfied. Yeah. Thank you, Babu. Thanks for your enough. Everyone's need, but not enough for everyone's greed. Yeah. Mahatma Gandhi has said something like that. Yeah. So this is not our consciousness. Our consciousness is to everything, bhagya drishti, like to see as a object of our enjoyment. That darshan has not gone, it has not come yet into our heart. That's why in the past times of Ambarish Maharaj, that glorification Sudarshan, it says like Sudarshan. He gives the vision, or he gives the blessings by which we can take the vision of the Supreme Lord. Sudarshan. Otherwise, we will be only seeing the Kudarshan, only which is abominable, which is what is the temporary, inert, and full of ignorance. Achit, Asat, and Nirananda, the three Satchidananda's opposite. Anyways, thank you, Babu. Hare Krishna. Thanks for joining. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Koladwip Prana Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
You
Ashray
go.
Mother
Ashray
Prabhu.
Mother Das.
Hare Krishna.
So Prabhu, yes, so Lord Shiva's personality, right? Like he's actually, yes, he's actually, and we can take examples from him, right? The topmost Vaishnava, how he is transcendental, right? He's in the transcendental state always. But then just to give mercy to the souls, the impure souls like hobgoblins and ghosts, everyone rejects them. No one wants them close, right? But he goes them to give mercy. And to do that, just so that they understand that, oh, he is one of us, he even, makes himself look like them, basically, right? Puts ashes and all and everything. We should not, of course, copy Lord Shiva. But I think Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood was like that. He was ready to break all the rules so that, Hare Krishna mantra, everyone can chant. Otherwise, otherwise this caste Brahmins, otherwise they kept, oh no, how can you give this Mahamantra to anyone? Right? But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, this is for everyone, basically. Anyone can chant, right? So it is like that mood, the mood of that, that Lord Shiva's mood, right?
Very nice.
He could give mercy to anyone, basically, as long as, they go and pray to him.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Very, very nice. That I was reminded of that when, Sati, Mother Sati was, telling the qualities of, the Lord Shiva to Daksha and that before immolating herself. So just realized that, she is very elevated. But definitely we should not copy those things, eating ganja and all that, keeping ourselves dirty. But that is, Lord Shiva can do that, but we cannot.
Yeah. In the Shastra, it says actually Lord Shiva's devotees, they wear actually Tripundra, right?
Yeah.
Shastra says that if you see someone wearing Tripundra, because Tripundra represents that something against Lord Vishnu. Like somebody has a conception that somebody else other than Lord Vishnu is worshipable or topmost worshipable object. You took shower after that, take bath. So to take bath can be in different way, like even mantra snan can be also there. But this is so strong. In fact, in the purport, one of the purpose Srila Prabhupada explaining that this is the beginning of the fight between Vaishnavas and Shivites. The Bigomini is actually Vaishnava, or Brahmanas, those following of Vedic scriptures. That Nandishwar, even though Lord Shiva, tolerated, but he became very ferocious and started cursing. So that mood is sometimes also sometimes we see in different parts of the world where Shivites and Vaishnavites they fight. But if we
Yeah,
dig down, we'll see that this Lord Shiva is always serving the supreme personality of Godhead.
got it.
Yeah, through his tapa is all
Yeah,
the in the mind. He's always chanting the name of Lord Vishnu.
yeah.
His mood, yeah, yeah.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for bringing that.
Thank you. Thank you for elaborating this pastime of Lord Shiva.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Meera
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Since Shiva is also the topmost Vaishnava,
Mhm.
and tomorrow is Shivratri, how can we approach him to make us, to give us more Krishna prem? How would one consider that?
Very good point, Mataji. First of all, you should actually half day first tomorrow because it's a Vaishnava appearance day. Shivaratri is
Okay.
considered appearance of Lord Shiva. Second thing is you should read something about Lord Shiva, which is connected to Krishna, especially from Srimad Bhagavatam. You can read fourth canto, as I mentioned, the instruction of Lord Shiva to Prachitas, where he was glorifying the Lord, Supreme Lord, Lord Vishnu. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Fourth canto,
Fourth canto, let me actually give you the chapter number. Can somebody actually look for the chapter, the song of Lord Shiva to Prachitas or something? 26, 27, something in the end part of it. Let me see.
Okay.
Let me give you the chapter number. I think you can read it. Oh yeah, 24. Chanting the song sung by Lord Shiva.
Oh, okay.
24.
Thank you.
Fourth canto. Okay, so that will be good enough for as a service, and we can pray to him to benedict us. Pure devotional service. And another thing is Lord Shiva is not a normal living entity like us, like conditioned or anything. We have to understand he
Right.
is a very special personality, and Shiva Tattva is a very complicated subject matter. He is a incarnation of Supreme Lord, but he is not as yeah, I should not say that way, but yeah, he's an incarnation of Supreme Lord who comes in touch with the material nature. Okay, so he has 85% of the qualities of Lord Vishnu, which is
Okay.
Lord Krishna. So which is not found in any living entities. Living entities can go up to 78%, 55 qualities. So he's a very special personality on all respect. In fact, we got this body from him. All the gross and subtle elements, material elements are created by him and Mother Durga. The Rama and Shambhu, this conjunction, they actually created all the material elements. So he can be also considered our father in that way. Lord Brahma is our
Okay.
father.
Thanks.
Lord Shiva is also our father. So these are very special characteristics of Lord Shiva. So in that regard, also we can worship him, and of course we are moved to not to ask for any material benediction, just to
Right.
ask his blessings for our devotional life. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Okay. So let's actually discuss some specific, whatever we actually discussed, that Lord Shiva, he was not doing actions based on the scripture where you are supposed to give respect to the superiors. Now there are two very nice pastimes of our acharyas, which also shows that the actions of a Vaishnava cannot be interpreted at any time. Vaishnavero kriya mudra, jar যার ক্রিয়া মুদ্রে যার হৃদয়ে কৃষ্ণ প্রেম হয় উদয়, something like that, তার বাক্য ক্রিয়া মুদ্রা বিজ্ঞান বুঝায়. Lord Chaitanya was instructing to Sanatan Goswami. He was telling, in whose heart the symptoms of pure devotional love sprout, his actions and activities, even an intelligent person would understand what he's doing, why he's doing, because it's different. It's not interpretable. It's not in the moods of material. It's not under the moods of material nature. So one time what happened, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was the magistrate of Krishnanagar, and he was a deputy magistrate. At that time, that was the topmost position one non-Britisher or local native could hold. So he was the deputy magistrate of Krishnanagar district at that time, and some devotees from some local Navadip Mutt, they came to him with some kind of, objections against the Babaji Maharaj. They wrote this Babaji Maharaj, he's an old guy. He comes to the court, your court, almost every other day, and he comes with different types of, objections against the math, the temple, the management, the devotees, and he, writes different diaries. Diaries means like you registered some complaint officially. Even though Bhaktivinoda Thakur did not have much, one-to-one conversation with him, but he knew that this person is doing that because he was a very expert and efficient officer. So this Babaji, these other temple members, they were actually objecting against him. They are just not happy with him. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur told that this Babaji Maharaj, he comes here on a daily basis or on a regular basis to file complaint against you. That is a topmost bhajan. That is the topmost sadhana. Because this Babaji Maharaj, he is looking for the best of interest. In the temple, the people who will be living, they will have a very highest standard. Because the local people, the general populace, they will follow people who are living in the temple. They won't follow people in each and everyone who are especially interested to learn the spiritual science. They won't follow somebody who is materially very successful or very good orator or knowledgeable scholar person materially. No, they will follow the brahmachari who even not even knowledgeable, but their general action shows the mood of service or the way of his spiritual development. The general actions, not like too fancy actions. So if those general actions are not fine-tuned, they are not following the principles of teachings of previous acharyas, gurus, Vaishnavas, Shastras, then it's a big disturbance. Shruti, Shruti, Puranadi, Pancharatrik, Vidimbina, Vaikantika Harir Bhakti Utpataiva Kalpat. If you're not following the injunctions of the Shastras or the gurus or teachers, it's just a disturbance to the society. So he was telling this is his topmost bhajana because he's observing that you are not following any of those things very strictly. You are just living in the mud, but you are always thinking of Yoshit Shanga, women association or enjoyment. You are making bank balance out of the resources. It's just like warm stool. They even don't know actually. The warm stools are like so abominable that they enjoy what they're doing. So these people, they are embezzling the fund of the temple, but they don't know that they are digging their own graveyard to suffer millions of birth times. So this was Bhaktivinoda Thakur's verdict. He was telling that you are doing chanting, so-called chanting all day long, day and night, to show people that you are a big devotee. That's not bhajan. But this person is filing diary, complaint against you. That is a topmost bhajan. So how will you actually judge a devotee? By his action? No, you can't. That's why we should not actually, even try to. But our propensity, because conditioned soul has always the propensity of finding faults of everyone. A conditioned soul doesn't see actually the quality in anyone. You just see only the what is that disqualification or emptiness. And a liberated soul, he always see good qualities. That's what we explained that Lord Shiva, he was even accepting those negative people. Even he did not object Daksha because he thought Daksha is actually doing sacrifice. He's doing his activities nicely. That's why he was so effulgent. People were respectful to him. So he saw in that way that but a liberated soul, he doesn't see any objection. But if in this case, this Babaji's case, even though he was not inclined to see the faults, but it was necessary. A guru or a responsible person, it's his responsibility to rectify the person who are under him or whom he is seeing, who is experiencing that they are doing something very abominable. It's their responsibility to rectify. That's why only Guru can rectify us. Guru are senior Vaishnava, the sadhu, who we feel that they are someone who can actually give us shelter or who we can take shelter of. Only Guru, not logos, not Anybody can actually rectify us. We don't have faith in everyone. So for that person, he felt that urge to rectify these people, because he was also living in the mud and he was also experiencing that things are not going good, and he was finding a way to rectify these people. Second pastime, one time Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj was the topmost Vaishnava Sarvabhauma. He was the topmost Paramahansa Vaishnava at the time, when he was living in Navadvip. Everybody was respectful. Even like most people are not internally respectful, because if you are internally respectful to someone, you want to give yourself to him. But people are like, at least externally, they are giving respect to him. So these people who are living under his, auspice or under his jurisdiction, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. One time, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj asked them to, make a garden of pumpkin, gourd, bitter gourd for the deities. Just, make a pumpkin. You don't have to chant day and night. Just do this gardening for their lordships. They were disturbed. And they went to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, because Bhaktivinoda Thakur had a very nice relationship with Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. He used to consider him as his premium Shiksha Guru. So they objected that, hey, Babaji Maharaj, he became old, and that's why he is telling these kind of things. We came to Matha to do only chanting, bhajan, sadhan, these things. But he is telling that, no, you just do, this gardening, grow this pumpkin, gourd, bitter gourd, these things. Bhaktivinoda Thakur told, no, what Babaji Maharaj is telling, that should be your bhajan. So it's very important point. I want to emphasize on this point. If a guru says apparently something which seems that it's not like a proper bhakti, but you get the bhakti success by doing that apparent, non-devotional service. Apparent. I'm not telling like, it's absolutely not, because there is nothing called non-devotional service. Everything can be engaged in Krishna's service. All the things we are doing in our life, it can be engaged, but it should be engaged under the guidance of a pure devotee. That is another fact. It should not be whimsical that I like this, I am doing it and I am offering it to Krishna. No, it should increase the ecstasy of a pure devotee. So he was telling that, okay, Babaji Maharaj is asking you, that is your proper sadhana, that is your pure bhajan. You are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra and thinking all the worldly affairs, how to do this, that, enjoy this, that, plan for future, those things, pension plan. That's not bhajana. So he is trying to engage you all in 24 hours of service of Lord. Even though you will be doing apparently gardening, but that will be a engagement of your mind to the service of the Supreme, mind, body, and words. So that will be the topmost devotional service. And we see in our Srila Prabhupada's pastimes also, all the devotees who actually experience Srila Prabhupada's, this devotional life, it's very difficult to survive or endure that kind of energy. Yeah, their Lavamatra Sangha can actually give you enough spiritual, chidbal, potency, but to digest, more than that, it's very difficult for many people. That's why Srila Prabhupada used to change his servants on a regular basis, because they all were not, able to digest the spiritual presence of such a like strong personality like Srila Prabhupada. And he kept them engaged 24 hours a day in service of Krishna, day and night. There is no way you will think like we will be hearing the glories of this Chaitanya Charitamrita publication marathon, right? So they were publishing this whole 17 volumes in 2 months. So can you believe, like, that's a mammoth task? It was. So it's not actually 24 hours a day for them. It may be 48 hours a day for them. So if you are engaged in devotional service in that manner under the order of a spiritual master, no matter whether it is a book publication or growing vegetables or digging well for the Lord or making a building, everything will be bringing up complete absolute auspiciousness for you, and it will be regarded as, or it will be pure devotional service to the Lord. It's very sensitive thing. Sometimes we also devotees get, hey, this is it's not for me, or Yeah, that can, guru also bestows you service based on your inclination. Sometimes, sometimes it may not be the case, but most of the time. But my point is that whatever service you get from your guru, be it, maintaining your family, be it working in your office, be it, book distribution or temple service, or going out to distribute flyers, all are pure devotional service as long it is satisfying him. But if you're doing it for your own cause, you're going to temple. We read in third canto, right, in Lord Kapila's instruction, that there are three types of pure devotional service also: in mood of passion, mood of goodness, and mood of ignorance. And you are doing puja, the topmost, intimate service, and you are thinking, how many people are watching me? How many people are watching my mudras or my a specific way of doing arti? Then it will be good. Nowhere near to pure devotional service. It will be like, self aggrandizement or self proclamation that, I am a big devotee. Yeah. So it's very subtle subject matter, but we can see in the Mahajana's pastimes. Mahajana Gatasa Pantha. And also, Lord Shiva is one of the Mahajanas. When Yamraj was explaining to his bhattas, his britwas, servants, who are the Mahajanas, and from who know the religion, dharmas to sakshat bhagavad panitam, religion or the scriptures or the principles of religions are given by the Supreme Lord. But not everybody can understand, or everybody can preach. Only the Mahajanas can preach. That's why he mentioned that Sayambhu Narada Sambhu Kumara Kapila Manu Pralada Janaka Vishmar Balir Vayasakir Abbayam Dadu Shite Vijanima Dharmam Bhagavatam Hata Guyam Durvadya Vishuddham Yad Gyatam Ritam Ashmute. He was saying that Sayambhu Narada Sambhu, Sayambhu means Lord Brahma, Narada, Shambhu, Kumara Kapila Manu Kumar, four Kumaras, Kapil Dev, Narad, Sayambhu Manu, Pralada Janaka Vishwa, Prahlad Maharaj, Janak Maharaj, Vishmadev, Bali Maharaj, Bayasaki means Shukadev Goswami, and Abhaya means like Jamraj himself. These are the 12 personalities who know the supreme, knowledge in toto. And among these 12 persons, you see that Lord Narad Muni and Lord Shiva are really merciful, especially merciful. Narad Muni, he goes to the far corners of the world to bestow the transcendental knowledge. He finds out, all the fallen conditioned souls, like this, Ashini Kumaras, right? The sons Mani Kumar, Mani Griba, and Nala Kubera. They were doing all abominable activities, even being the demigods of the celestial planet. And he rectified them. He thought that this is my responsibility to rectify them. We also see the Migari pastimes, and in Bhagavatam all throughout, everywhere Narad Muni is there. Similarly, Lord Shiva also benedicts people. They sometimes the power make them, very pride, and they challenge the Supreme Lord, like Banasur. Banasur is a very, very close associate of Lord Shiva. And he fought against Lord Krishna. And Lord Shiva actually also fought on behalf of him because he was his servant. But again, yeah, that pastime is also very interesting pastime in 10th canto. Very nice pastime. I like this very much. Especially the conversation between Shivjar and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. That how he took shelter. Anyway, so the point is, Lord Shiva is also benedicting the most fallen and wretched and connecting them somehow or other to the Supreme Lord. This is his responsibility. Not all other Mahajans are Yamraj is actually punishing everyone to rectify or go to the higher position. But Lord Shiva is benedicting everyone to go to the higher position and connecting with the Supreme Lord sometimes. These all the these demons, most of them actually, or not all, some of them are Lord Brahma's worshipper also. But like Ravan, Shishupal, Kamsa, and who else? Kumbhakarna, they're all worshipper of Lord Shiva. They got benediction, and then they tried to exploit that benediction against Lord Vishnu or Krishna, and they got punished by him, and that was the salvation for them, right? So somehow or other, he is also connecting in that way also. So, and we are the most fallen. At least I can say about myself. So I need his special, Ashutosh mercy, so that I can continue, or I can hang on to this devotional life. Otherwise, anytime, Yamraj can come. Anyways, Hare Krishna. I think we can conclude the class. Any other comment or anything to share before we leave? Okay, so then we can do some Hare Krishna Kirtan before we leave. Oh, Kotikarna Prabhu, you wanted to say something?
Prabhu, I really like your classes, Prabhu. You're so articulative. You are seamless, Prabhu. How you explain the katha, it's so nice. Keep on hearing. Very nice verses, Prabhu. I really like the verses that you quote. They are really on the point. All the verses. Why Lord Shiva did not behave, why he did not get angry even though his followers got angry. He did not get angry. So he has to take care of such people. That is his duty. But yeah, it's very hard to understand the Shiv Tattva, Prabhu. Yeah, thank you for how explaining how to celebrate Shivratri also. That's very nice. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu, for joining today from the beginning.
So,
Yes.
so Prabhuji, I have a question. Why is it Shivaratri? You were saying that you only fast till lunchtime, and I think people usually fast till evening because of
Yeah.
Ratri.
Correct. Yeah. The thing is that many, that's unmarried girls, they ask benediction to Lord Shiva to have a nice husband. So that's why they fast. But according to our Shastra, for the Vaishnavas, appearance or a special day, we fast half day only for Vaishnavas. So Lord Shiva, we consider him as topmost Vaishnavas. So even even Radha Ashtami or any other incarnation other than Madhava, like Lord Krishna's incarnation, we fast in other people's incarnation who are not Vishnu Tattva half day. So this is the Vaishnava injunctions. But if somebody wants to fast, a special tomorrow till evening, and give water to Lord Shiva, that's also fine. If somebody is austere enough to do that, and they are inclined to do that, please you should do it, because that is no harm in doing extra. But this is the minimum. Half day fasting. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Koladwip Prabhu. On the board, there is a question. I will just read it out to you.
Yes.
It came on the YouTube actually. I will just read out the question. It came from Steve Lyle Prabhu.
Okay.
Asking, since I stopped practicing Krishna sadhana bhakti so strictly and have become more involved in material aspirations, I have developed increasing attraction to Lord Shiva as somewhat a benefactor. Can you please speak about the pros and cons of this?
Wow. That's a very difficult question.
Yeah, it is a difficult.
Pros is like, of course, Lord Shiva is, as I mentioned, he's the second topmost. He's second to only Lord Vishnu. So in that way, I asked this question to Bhakticharu Maharaj one time, His Holiness Bhakticharu Maharaj, that if somebody worships Lord Shiva very fervently, and we know that Golokanamni Nijadhamni Talecha Tasya Devi Mahesh Haridhameshu Teshu Teshu. So this Mahesh Dham is in between the spiritual world and the material world. It's not material world, also it's not completely the Vaikuntha Loka, but it's eternal. It's like it's beyond the Biroja causal ocean. So if somebody is fervently worshipping Lord Shiva, he can go to that Shiva Loka. He can reside there. If he considers that Shiva is my Ishtadev, and I want the perfection to go to his Loka and serve him personally, that can be also possible. But if somebody wants to, establish the relationship of such with the Supreme Lord in different mellows, Dasya Sankhya, Dasya Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, then that can be only possible through the worship of Lord Vishnu and Krishna. So yeah, I will say that the pros is, if you're considering him as a devotee of Lord Vishnu and you worship him, you can go, you can get Krishna Prema through him, because he's a guru, he's an universal teacher. You can, and also Lord Shiva's devotees, they are by nature, they are very austere also, because they do a lot of tapa and things. So that is also good, because tapa actually purifies us. It actually cleanses our consciousness. And when you are doing tapa for a very powerful personality like Lord Shiva, you will get some benediction, which will be very helpful for your spiritual progress. But this is the cons. But if you're doing the austerity for some kind of petty material benedictions, like you want to prosper in your career or earn money or enjoy something, that can be detrimental. He can fulfill that also, but it will make you more engaged in gross materialistic activities. So you should be very careful what you are asking to Lord Shiva. He can fulfill any desire, but we should be carefully asking what we want from him. He will be pleased the best if he can connect you to the Supreme Lord as a servant. But yeah, you have to decide what you want to do with this sadhana to Lord Shiva or worship of Lord Shiva. That's my understanding. If anybody wants to add anything, please feel free.
Koladwip Prabhu, I think that was a very nice answer. I mean, even though you are doing some material aspiration, but you should still know that the Supreme is Krishna, that Krishna Bhakti is the ultimate goal. And it is possible, right? Because of millions of lifetimes, we have a lot of samskars, and we may not be able to follow Krishna sadhana bhakti, right? So we can always then rely on mercy of a Vaishnava, and Lord Siva is a Vaishnava. So we should still ask for that. I think that is a good point you raised. Basically, we should not forget what we are asking from Lord Siva. I think that's a good point. To go to still try to reach Krishna. I mean, that should be the ultimate goal, basically. Correct. That one should not forget.
Correct. Thank you. Yeah. Always remember Krishna, never forget him. Okay, Giridhar Prabhu, you had a question?
Yes, Prabhu. So, thank you so much, Prabhu. The class is very helpful. I always felt like I had a lot to learn from the past time. I finally found out why. I just wanted to know, like, when Mother Sati says that, like, the three different reactions to an offender against a Vaishnava, like the first reaction is maybe something we can implement, but definitely the reason they're given, like, is there some equivalent of them? Is my question.
Yeah, you are talking about this, she gave like, first leaving that place. So the Brahmanas, they are supposed to actually counter argue and establish the absolute truth, their understanding. If somebody is blaspheming Vaishnava, they should be, so much knowledgeable in Shastras that they should defend. They should defend their activities. They should defend their action with respect to Siddhantas, the explanations in principles of Shastras. But if that is not possible, if they cannot do it, they should live by closing their ears. Okay, the other two are extreme. These are not recommended, especially when we don't have Kshatriya dharma, in place. Right now, everywhere is Ganatantra, democracy. It's a demoniac principle, by the way. Sorry, but this is like that. Kshatriyas are trained to administer the world. They're trained. They have those that Tejo, Dhriti, Shama, Shaucha, those qualities they have. But this democracy, everybody who has, even like everybody's vote is, same level. So we cannot implement like, these strong philosophies where somebody is blaspheming the Lord and we are just, punishing them. Actually, this mentality of blaspheming is a Shudra mentality. A Shudra is actually that's why Daksha, he was not considered as a Dija. In fact, in the past time it came that even though he is a Dija by born, but he is not a Dija by action. Mother Sati points out this one, that you are a Brahman, but your action is like a Shudra. Yeah. So this action of blasphemy is a Shudra, because they are envious. Shudras are envious. They are envious of other people. Hare Krishna, Shamra Prabhu.
Hare Prabhuji, I was hearing your class. Very nice, wonderful. I had one question, Prabhuji. What is Shivaratri? Means, is it like just like Janmashtami, Lord Krishna appeared? What is the significance of this like day called Shivaratri?
I also don't know, Prabhu. I don't know, but it most likely Yeah, I don't know, bro. I cannot.
But at least we can remember Lord Shiva.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very auspicious occasion. Something related to Lord Shiva. It maybe his appearance or some pastimes. Yeah, because he appeared on a specific day, right? From the
Yeah.
eyebrow of Rudra Shiva. Anyways, maybe it's related to that. But I don't exactly know what Shivaratri is. People don't talk about these things actually. People just blindly follow. So yeah, so good question, Babu. I'll try to find out if there is any reference somewhere. Yeah. Very good, thank you.
Thank you. Very nice glories of Lord Shiva and Daksha Prajapati, the whole pastime, and Mother Sati, how I really liked. Very nice points.
I have to
Guruji,
sort it, Babu. Yeah.
if we are supposed to be the whole night, some people stay up the whole night and pray to Lord Shiva. So there must be some significance to the keeping awake through the night and all that. So that was. I mean, if you can find out, that would be good. Like that is a kind of a curiosity.
The thing is that Bhakti Vikas Maharaj was mentioning this in one of his lectures, that in Shastra it's so vast, and there are so many interpretation of the principle of Vedic philosophy, that sometimes it's bewildered. And sometimes when somebody is very inclined to serving Lord Shiva, they will interpret these occasions in such a way that you will not be thinking in the perspective of a Vaishnava. So that's why we don't discuss those perspectives that much. We want to actually take the perspectives of acharyas. If Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, they have said something, that is our authority. That has potency for us. Otherwise, there can be a lot of references from the Shastra which can be bewildering. It can be bewildering, yeah. It's bewildering, yeah. He is also addressed in Bhagavatam itself, Lord Shiva, as the Supreme Personality of God. And in the Purport, Srila Prabhupada is saying, actually, as a Gunavatar, he is representing the Supreme Personality. So you have to understand the eyes of the acharyas, how they are actually, because the words can be, Sanskrit words can be very complicated. Yeah. Okay, so let's do like maybe 1 minute, 2 minute kirtan, and then we can wrap it up. We are already over time. Namo Yong Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Sarasate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavade Ashat Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Adaita Gadadhar Seva Sadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. I want to pay my obeisances to all the Vaishnavas who all joined from different in different platforms and blessed with their associations. Mahancha kalpatarabhyascha kipashindubha evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo namo namah. And I want to ask your forgiveness if I have spoken something which is not in line with the teachings of our acharyas. So please forgive me, because this is all my faults, and please bless me so that I can do better and I can also have some realization of what we have spoken today. Hare Krishna.
Haribol, His Grace Koladwip Prabhu ki
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur
Jai.
Bhai. जय निताय गौर सीता प्रेमानंद हरि हरि
Hari Hari Bol.